brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Morning, everybody. Studio 1, 6:59 and 30 seconds, sneaking on the air. A little early this morning. Just yours truly in studio. Lekter is down Java Roma preparing the morning breakfast order. He's a good lad. Mr. Wheeler will be along as well. Mornings at the Cabin brought to you today by Win Your Space in the City of Yellowknife. If you have a stonking great, amazing business idea, the kind of business idea, frankly, like Mornings at the Cabin, yes, then you should go to winyourspaceYK.com. You have until May 23rd to enter, and you could win a free year's leased space downtown. Could be right next to us. We could wave at you from across Franklin Avenue. We pretty much do that with Mary Kelly. She won last year. You could be right downtown. Maybe you could take over the old Harleys across the street. That'd be nice. Maybe you could have some kind of breakfast emporium that would be slightly closer, and then Lekter would be able to make it over there and back in time to be here for the start of the morning show. You could help us if we help you, is what I'm saying. Brought to you today by Win Your Space YK. Head to winyourspaceYK.com. We've got guests on the show who have won their space in the past, and we got a whole bunch more to talk about. Not least the fact that the Canadian accent is officially the 13th sexiest in the world.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin. That's right. Wheeler is here a little late, but no worse for wear.
Speaking of things being a little late, just quickly.
Oh, God. What? Are you pregnant?
Can I tell you?
Oh.
No, it's okay.
All right.
To the best of my knowledge, this is actually just burgers.
Burgers. I love burgers.
That's the problem. Exactly that.
Wait, 1 second before you start. Mornings at the Cabin today is brought to you by Win Your Space. If you have an amazing business idea, you could win a year's free lease space in downtown Yellowknife. Enter by May 23rd. Find out more at winyourspaceYK.com. Ollie, go ahead.
So things that are slightly delayed. I've a note in my email this morning from Amazon saying Canada Post tried to deliver your package.
Was it a wedding dress?
But it was not a wedding dress. We'll come on to that a little later in the show.
Oh, goodness.
And so I clicked the little link that sort of shows you the tracking information for the package. It sounds like it had quite the Wednesday.
Oh, good.
So 8:14 a.m. arrival scan Yellowknife. 9:03 a.m. out for delivery Yellowknife.
Sure.
9:03 a.m. possible delay in delivery due to arrival at incorrect carrier facility Yellowknife.
What?
And then 6:31 p.m. out for delivery. Nothing happened to it. 10:02 p.m. out for delivery. 10:02 p.m. delivery attempted. 10:04 p.m. possible delay in delivery due to arrival at incorrect carrier facility. 10:27 p.m. delivery attempted. What was happening to it?
I feel like that's happened with every... If you tracked any package coming in Yellowknife, that would be the story. Why are you trying to attempt to deliver at 10:30 at night?
It sounds like it just went door to door.
Just like, yeah,
Is
bing
this
bong.
my
Is this you?
home?
Is this yours? Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for it.
Yeah. Pixar has already acquired the rights to this package's story.
Oh, my Lord. Anyway, carry on.
I didn't have anything. No, I wanted to talk about yesterday. We discovered there was a ranking of the sexiest accents.
Yeah.
And Canadian finished 13th.
Higher than we thought.
Unlucky 13th sexiest accent in the world.
Should we try and sex up this break?
I think we should,
What do
buddy.
you think?
You know, let me just lay it down there, bud.
Whoa.
It's
How
really,
about that?
really hard for me to lean into this accent without just swearing all over the place, just dropping F-bombs. Oh, frick, bud.
A little too hot for a Friday morning. No, a Thursday morning, no less.
Oh, no less,
Not even
buddy.
Friday yet, bud.
Not even Friday. Not even to the weekend there, bud. You just get a little ahead of yourself. Why don't you just cool your jets there, bud.
Now, before you all get too carried away, I would like to point out...
Which Canadian accent is it, though?
That's the interesting thing.
Is it Ontario?
It just says Canadian.
Ontario?
You were one place above Hungary.
I'm pretty hungry.
Very good.
What is a Hungarian accent
You were
sound
two
like?
places below Czech. Now,
Well, Czechs are sexy.
Well, that's the thing with a
Chexy,
lot of
if
these.
you will.
Sexy, absolutely.
That's the thing with a lot of these accents. They tend to evolve depending on what area you're in, right?
That's
So
right.
Some sound sexier than others, but Queen's English
Snuck in at 12.
snuck in there.
Just above
Snuck
Canadian.
in.
Come on, give us a
Yeah,
go.
give us a little bit
Steam
of
it
the
up here, Ollie.
Come on. Yeah.
Philip. Philip. Come here now.
No, wait.
the corgis.
Him.
Did they mean by Queen's English
The actual
impersonations
Queen?
of the Queen? Or?
I'd like to imagine that they did.
Your QE2 impression is incredible. So sexy Canadian accents. What are the other accents in the top?
Well, so number one was Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
You know, it's so charming. I don't know if
It
it's
is
necessarily
charming.
sexy. It's charming.
It's very charming, but it's disarming is what it is. I feel like you can get chatted up, and it's like Taika Waititi in like Thor Ragnarok or in What We Do in the Shadows, where it's just kind of like it's charming, and all of a sudden you're just naked.
It's also quite a beguiling accent because you listen to it, and over time you realize that it is an achievement to pronounce every vowel as an I.
Yeah. Mean? What do you mean, man? No, that's terrible.
South African second.
South African
Now,
second.
that interests me.
Yeah.
I've always found South African to be quite a harsh accent.
It can be
harsh.
It can
Yeah,
be.
they're quite like as an accent often grates a little bit with me because it is a really like crisp cut. Like
It can be.
It's not a soft accent. It's the same as like Mancunian, sort of Manchester accent in England, is number 18 in this list.
That's what we're calling that,
which
Mancunian.
is just not a sexy
I
accent.
had no idea what that was even supposed to
It's
be.
an awful accent.
Do Manchester. Is
Like,
it-
just watch Coronation Street Rovers going down Rovers
Manchester.
for a pint.
Go the Rovers for playing it.
Like it's just not that. Very rarely has anyone, even Mancunians themselves. My dad's side of the family are all from around Manchester. I've never heard anyone try to pretend that their accent is going to win them points on a Tinder date.
I never know.
Have a point at the Rovers.
Now that right there, that's not on the list because that's not an accent.
That's not an accent. Point.
Yeah, so South African I always found confusing because I just like I like the way it sounds, but I always try to place it and I can never place it as South African.
South African is that magical accent that if you're not from South Africa, you almost certainly, no matter where you are from, you're going to mistake them for being from some other
Aussie
country.
or New Zealand or something like that.
I feel like Trevor Noah has made it a bit more mainstream in our North American
and
lives.
there's a loveliness to the South African accent because they roll their R's but in like kind of a soft way. It's not like that. It's I can't really impersonate it.
Yeah.
But there is a friend of mine in town who is from South Africa, and he's a lovely accent. Lovely.
So we'll run down the rest of this list up
Pin.
until Canada.
Yes.
Because anything that came after Canadian should be ashamed of themselves.
That's right.
So number 3 was Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
fair
enough.
Yeah. Number 4, Italian. Fair enough. Number 5, Australian, because,
Well, Aussies, Kiwis.
Because people think they're Kiwi. Yeah, okay.
That's right.
that's right. Number 6, Scottish. I was a little
A
surprised
lot
by
of
that one.
colonialism in this sexiest accents.
Well, I think this was probably compiled by people who speak English.
Yes.
For a start.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, the Asian accents notably absent from this list because clearly nobody who compiled the list could understand the language. So yes. I thought Scottish is an interesting one because again there are very different Scottish accents.
Yes, of course.
There are softer ones and there are very harsh ones.
Yeah.
But I think like a good it's like a Scottish accent can be a lot like an Irish accent and really quite.
Well, really quite lovely when
One that's
spoken.
missing from this list is Welsh. Welsh people, it's really sing-song. It's like they're famous for choirs anyway, right?
Yeah.
Welsh, like a thing like the coal mines in Wales all used to have their own choirs.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And so they used to compete against each other. It used to be like the big thing to do when you weren't working down the mine.
Yeah.
Was to be part of the men's choir in town and then go and like sing.
Didn't the Pet Shop Boys use like a Welsh choir, a Welsh like miners choir to sing "Go West"?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
So this that's because they have this wonderful sing-song accent where everything's said by someone with a real Welsh accent goes up and down and round. Like it has way more expressiveness to it than.
Now do it.
You know, I can't do it.
You can.
I just can't
do it.
Give it a
anyway.
go.
No, I refuse because it would be honestly, it would be the least culturally appropriate thing I've ever done to try to do a Welsh accent. Even though my last name is Welsh, I cannot do it.
Okay, Williams is Welsh.
I feel like Welsh is too sad to be sexy, but that's just me.
Wow.
The coal mining industry's really hit that accent hard.
Number 7, French. Yep, naturally.
Fair enough.
Number 8, Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Number 9, Southern United States.
No.
The Southern Peach.
Well, exactly. I mean, if you're getting that molasses dripping from your lips, That's a little something.
Nothing sexier than molasses dripping from your lips.
Your mouth. You get into that kind of thing. Like you're not talking like that harsh Southern accent. Like
No, you're not talking Arkansas.
Arkansas, please. But yeah, like I love a Southern drawl. Like, oh my, this desert flower is wilting.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is very, very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Shivers. Okay, right out the top 10. Then we gotta go.
And finally, number 10, Brazilian Portuguese, 11 Czech, and then of course 12 Queen's English.
The Queen's English.
Good for Czech.
Yeah,
Didn't expect that one.
And good for the Queen.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Today, brought to you by Win Your Space. If you have an amazing business idea, you could win a year's free lease space in downtown Yellowknife. Enter by May 23rd. Find out more at winyourspaceyk.com.
Earlier, I was suggesting on the air that we would encourage an entrant who has a great idea to open a breakfast establishment in the old Harleys.
That's right.
Which would then, seeing as it's across the street, allow us to go and get our breakfast quicker in the morning and be in the studio.
That's really
on
all
time.
we need left. That's all we need.
Yeah. I just need I need a breakfast place right there.
Well, I mean, God bless the ambassador, so dearly departed, who's with us so very, very shortly as a restaurant. 4 months?
Something like that.
In that space, so much promise. 6 a.m. breakfast buffets that was the whole deal.
The promise
if that had been like a thing and like lasted, A, I would now be £900. B, that would have been fantastic. Now what we need is that, but that was kind of far away because it was at least
half a block.
Half a block.
Half a block.
Yeah.
Half a block.
No,
Across the street and down a bit.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the BDIC down below will fund some sort of breakfast nook in their office.
In their office.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, surely they would go for that. You would think if you work for the BDIC, that would be like the biggest shoe-in proposal of all time.
That's right.
As if someone comes in offering to open a breakfast nook in their building.
But
how can you not fund that? Well,
as we know, ... Yeah. So we were talking about the adventures of parcels here in Yellowknife, and you marked up a good one there. That was a rollicking tale of adventure for a parcel. Well, the last couple of days, including a friend of ours, a few parcels have gone missing. A little bit more important than, say, just like getting a delivery of your dog toys. Wedding dresses. 2 wedding dresses have gone missing via Canada Post this week. One was found very, very quickly, but another one popped up this morning on Yellowknife Yellowknife Lost and Found, Yellowknife Buy, Sell, and Trade, and across Facebook. They lost this person's wedding dress, and I have not heard whether or not it has been returned yet.
I have a theory about this.
Okay.
It's the same guy.
Yes.
He's reached the point in 2 different relationships that he's been keeping going at the same time.
My God.
Where they've each got to the marriage stage.
Yeah.
And now is only realizing that there's really no way out of that. So the safest thing to do is it's essentially the same as what we're doing with Giant Mine. We're just like buying time for the rest of the future. We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
If you steal both the wedding dresses, you buy yourself at least an extra month or 2 in order to maybe get the thing delayed, figure out what you're doing here.
You do realize that one of the first woman is the fiance of one of our hosts.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's him.
Yeah, it's him. It's Patrick. That's what's going on. Oh, good. Oh, God. Late breaking story on Cabin Radio.
I really don't think you thought this one through, Patrick. I got to say, I don't think it's going to work out for you.
You have gone to
the Cabin Radio exclusive, National Enquirer of the North.
But strictly northern content, though. Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
But we delve under the layers to find out all the juicy stories.
Under the layers of the wedding dress. Really? Really?
Okay. That's not what I meant. But this is it's I don't understand. I mean, I understand how parcels go to the wrong place. But a wedding dress parcel is rather large. It's a rather large parcel. And how does it get delivered to the wrong address?
It's not just Yellowknife.
Oh,
of course it's not. I remember living in a London suburb about 10 years ago.
Well, this is not exclusive to Northern at all.
Getting a keyboard delivered and watching with horror as it got offloaded off the truck 2 streets away, but I could see from my front yard. and the people it was being delivered to gladly accepted it.
I'll take it.
And I knew darn well, like, there are not that many keyboards delivered in like the small cul-de-sac that I was living in. So in goes the keyboard. Like, hang on a minute. I like went round there later on, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, we were just saving it, just making sure it got to the right place." I'm like, "Give the keyboard back, you
right now,
evil swine."
To be fair, I could see there being more than one Oliver Williams in a northern London suburb.
Yeah.
So I see where the
probably
confusion comes in.
Probably a few living right next door to you.
Probably a whole cul-de-sac of them.
Next weird story. I was in the lineup at Main Street down there a couple of days ago.
Were you?
And someone who's friend of the show, Mel Leonard, who works at Signed,
Yep.
was in the line behind me, and he turned around to me and said, "Oh, so I see you're working at Northwest Tel now."
What?
Which is exactly what I said. Like, what, Mel? And he said, "Well, yeah, you're working at... I'm surprised you have the time for it, but you got that job at Northwest Tel." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Well, we're doing the signs for their offices."
Oh.
Okay.
And one of them reads Oliver Williams.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Wow.
So Mel had just
They
assumed...
followed you here.
Mel had just assumed, like, I guess he needs, a little extra money on the side to support the whole cabin radio thing. And, good for him. And so, there was this moment of beautiful confusion where Mel, obviously in the certainty that there's only one Oliver Williams as far as he knew, was like, "Well, you must have this job." And I'd like, "What job?" There was a whole, we held up the line for 20 seconds with the poor woman behind the counter demanding to know, "Do you want tahini, sweet, or garlic?"
Hold on.
Like,
Mel,
listen.
the hell are you talking about?
Everybody just hold on for a second.
So if there is another Oliver Williams in town, hello, welcome, please leave.
That could be only one.
This town is not big enough for the
two.
both of us.
Well, he goes by Oliver, though, and you go by Ollie.
This is true. If he's going to stick to Oliver,
Yeah.
we could probably reach some sort of agreement.
Right.
If he strays anywhere near any variant of the spelling of Ollie, then I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to talk to the cabin radio lawyer about whether one can trademark these things.
And if he comes anywhere near your keyboard...
Yeah. Oliver. Never before has a town wanted more, so stay out. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Either that, or he's more than welcome to come over to cabin radio, and we'll just deploy 2 Oliver Williams instead, depending on where
More Ollies?
You can choose which one you want. It'd be great. We'll provide a menu. Here are the Ollies we have available for today's event.
Would you like an Oliver or an Ollie?
These are the Ollies I know.
These are the Ollies I know.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Mornings at the Cabin is brought to you by Win Your Space. If you have an amazing business idea, you could win a year's free lease space at downtown Yellowknife. Enter by May 23rd and find out more at winyourspace.com. And we have a couple of Win Your Space participants from previous years with us today.
We have veterans of Win Your Space.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who have
been through the wars
and conquered.
Yes.
So we will start with Kerri. Kerri, introduce people to yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do now.
Hi, I'm Kerri, and I entered last year and got second place, and I have the farmhouse now in the Lower YK Mall.
Okay, and that sells things like home decor, bits and pieces.
Exactly.
And we will come back to the fact that you have an incredible corner of your store devoted to outrageously sexy things.
I was hoping we were going to talk about this because I've added a few pieces just for you.
Okay, we're going to come back to that. Don't let me forget that. It is, honestly, in this little home decor nook, I have often, had to fan myself.
Every time you say something is outrageously sexy, I will never forget.
Yeah, there is basically some ankle being shown.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Okay, and we also have Marilyn. Hello, Marilyn. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hi, I'm Marilyn, and I was third place winner last year in Win Your Space, and I have a quilting / wool / fabric store in the 50/50 mini mall.
Nice.
Okay, now, people listening to this, you have a few weeks left if you want to enter this year's Win Your Space. And the deal is that if you win the top prize, you get a free year's leased space at one of a select bunch of downtown locations, or if you can find your own location and persuade them to let you have that free, you can do that as well. The city basically covers the cost. Great. Now, you also get a bunch of other supports as well, and there's a whole list of that on winyourspaceYK.com. Now, you guys didn't win the grand prize, but you did still get some support.
Right.
So, Kerri, you came second. What did you get?
So I got 5 months free rent, 4 photograph package from Samantha Stewart, and website design.
Wow.
And how much of a difference did that make in taking your idea from an idea to actually having the store open?
You know, all those prizes was amazing. But I would say for me, it was more of the education I got with the workshops. So you're required to attend so many workshops. They're a couple hours long, so it's not like this huge commitment, but it's basically Business 101 cramped into a couple months. And that is what I took away as the big prize out of this.
Marilyn, same for you. You came third. What did you get?
I got actually a $5,000 rent credit that I couldn't use because there was no spaces that they were offering that were good for me.
Okay.
I got the photography package, the website, but I also got People's Choice Award.
Ah.
So, and to me, that was the biggest thing, just knowing that people really wanted this type of shop here.
Mm-hmm.
What I got out of this, it just gave me the push I needed, the confidence and the push I needed to get out there and get this shop going.
You guys have both been open then for what, just over 6 months now?
Me for October.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How's it going? Because it's one thing to enter a contest like this, have the idea, feel, as you said, Marilyn, like, oh, people want this. This is great. Okay, I'll open the store. It's another thing 6 months down the road to actually be doing it on a day-to-day basis. Kerri, how's it going?
It's going great. I open up the store every day and smile, and I'm so happy. And then there's the other part where Friday comes and nobody's handing you a paycheck, and you're like, wait a moment, where's my paycheck? And you're the one who has to write that check to yourself. So it's wonderful and terrifying all at the same time.
Okay, Marilyn, how about you?
Like Kerri, when I open my doors in the morning, I hear a symphony.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the shop and I see all the beautiful things in there, and mine also, I showcase the quilters and knitters, fiber artists from the city, which is something they've never had before. And they love it. They love having a place to put their things up. So it's been, like Kerri says, terrifying, but it's amazing to get up every morning and have to go into that store.
I want to share tips for people who may be listening to this and they're, okay, you know what, I can deal with the pressure of being my own boss and writing my own paycheck. I know I'm signing up for that, but I've got this great idea. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead with Win Your Space. You've both been through the process. Kerri, what would you say to people thinking right now at the start of that process, okay, I'm going to do this? What do they need to know?
They need to just do it. They need to get out their camera, make their little video, send in their pitch, and just do it. What have you got to lose? Like, just send in the video. Take out your phone. Do it.
I mean, I spend a lot of time in my job working with video. It's easy for me to sit in front of a video camera and chat. It's what I'm paid to do. Marilyn, how was it for you? I mean, it's not everybody feels that way.
No, and I don't. I find it terrifying to have people look at my video, and I thought, there's no way I can do this. That was the one thing that was stopping me. And then I looked at my house one day and I saw fabric everywhere, my huge 14-foot long arm machine stuck in the middle of a room. And I thought, you know what? I need to get out of my house. I have to do this. So there was my husband sleeping in his lazy boy, the dog sprawled out across the floor, the doorbell ringing, the phone ringing. And I thought, okay, shoot the video. This is exactly what it is. And you need to deal with this and get out of the house and let your husband sleep in peace in his lazy boy.
Very good.
So it sounds like it's changed his life. Has it changed your life?
Yes, it has. Because truthfully, he loves the store as much as I do. So, he spends a lot of time there, and we're not moving his lazy boy there because I don't want him sleeping in the store. But yes, it's changed my life tremendously. It's given me a lot more confidence and just, I don't know how to explain it. It's opened up a whole new world to me. At this age when I'm supposed to be winding down and retiring, I'm now busier than I ever have been.
With a smile on your face
when you say that.
With a smile
on my face, yes, with a smile on my face.
Beautiful.
That's really good to hear. You guys, thank you both for coming in. Marilyn, one more time before we let you go, remind people what your store's called, what it does, and where we find it.
Okay, it's Long Arm of the North. It's in the 50/50 mini mall down at the back behind the pet store. And we have quilting supplies, a long arm quilting machine, fabrics, and wool. Beautiful wool, hand-dyed from Hay River. And that's...
And Kerri, bearing in mind we are a family show.
That's right.
Describe for us the new additions to Sexy Home Decor Corner at the farmhouse.
I'm at the farmhouse, Lower Whitecay Mall, and you can find a wide range of products there. I've got some local artists sell their wares at my store, and I do bring in, some fun items for those of you that just want some fun home decor items.
Honestly, it cracked me up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I need
cracked
to
me
know
up.
what this is, though. Like, I'm going to go check it out.
You're going to have to
But,
go.
I mean, can we get something a little titillating? Can we get to a hint?
I'm struggling even to remember the slogan. Basically, things like little cushions, little signs that you hang up.
Yeah.
That
Suggests.
Should we say like a not quite your average dog lovers live here.
Or like live, laugh, love.
Yeah. Live, love, and the last one might be something different. Right?
Very nice. Very nice.
You guys, thanks for coming in. This is brought to you by Win Your Space. Head to winyourspaceyk.com if you want to be smiling and happy like these people and doing your own thing.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
I wanted to share with you something, and now that Ollie's gone, I wanted to share this with you.
You don't like sharing with him.
I don't like sharing with
He's
Ollie.
already got it all.
That's right, and he knows too much about me as it is. So I was chatting with some people, and they were talking about our news coverage, and I said, "Yeah, it's the best in the city. It's we're one of the busiest, not the busiest, strictly northern content site in Canada, not the busiest, but one of them." And they said we were talking about the news and how we get our coverage and all this stuff, and I was like, "Well, Ollie works very hard, and Sarah does too, and we try to work very hard and fast, and still be factually correct and all these things, and deferential and whatnot." But and he said, and the guy said, "Well, aren't you guys owned by the Chinese?" What? I just stopped for a second, and I was like, "What?" But then at the same time, I was like, "You heard that? That's amazing! That's amazing! That you think we're legit enough to be owned by
to be of interest
to
a foreign
power to buy us up, to maybe control the narrative, control the message. I don't know, but that was really good news to me, that we have enough air of legitimacy that a foreign power would try to buy us up.
Yeah. We've gone past just the government in the Northwest Territories owning us. Past the federal government owning us.
Which they do.
To a foreign government
Absolutely.
owning us. We're really climbing that ladder in 1 year.
Not necessarily a government, maybe a corporate interest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
they got lots of money.
Yes, they do. But I mean, I think someone else had brought that up before. There was rumors that we were, bought and paid for or something like that. How we sprung out of nowhere and get all these hits and have a lot of momentum behind us, when it's really just us putting money into it, getting loans, and people were like, "Well, where's all that money coming from?" It's like, the government? Oh, so you're bought and paid for by the government. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Government mouthpiece.
That's
all
right. Yeah, we're just here to prop it up.
Okay, so obviously, we take that as a joke because we know it not to be true.
Absolutely.
All we have to do is take one look at our bank account and we know, no, we are not owned by the Chinese.
If we were owned by the Chinese,
things would be so much easier.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
my goodness. We'd be able to be here full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
be great.
Anyway, so obviously, like I said, we take that as a joke.
Yes.
Were they serious? I don't want to get out who said it.
No, I'm not going to out
because,
who said it, but I mean, he had an air of huh? Aren't you? And I'm like, well, no. And this was at my job. This was at my full-time gig. So I was like, if we were owned by the Chinese, do you think I'd be here right now if we were owned by the Chinese? If we were owned by the Chinese, I'd be over there full-time.
In China?
Yes. Yes, I would. I'd be Cabin Radio's representative in China.
Our foreign correspondent.
That's right. So, keep that rumor going. Please do. because that'll give us some
But was
sort
there
of-
any like surrounding context of this? Or
No,
did they
not
just
really.
kinda
He just
throw it out there.
No, I mean, I think he was kind of referring to like a mainstream media sources being owned by foreign corporations.
I mean, we're only arguably mainstream.
Yeah, argued.
We would lose that argument.
We're not even the busiest content creator in the North.
We're not even a real radio station.
That's right.
We would be on FM by now.
Yeah,
if
that's
we
the
were
other
owned
thing.
by the
If we were owned by a
Chinese.
Chinese corporation, we would be on FM right now. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Be like, oh, process? No, here's a
Here's $1 million.
Give us our license, please.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So,
Okay, so now we are the National Enquirer of the North.
Absolutely.
We are Fox News North.
We are Fox News
We
North.
are owned by the government of the
Owned by the
Northwest
government.
Territories.
We're owned
and,
by a Chinese corporation.
Of course, the Chinese.
Of course. So everything you hear out of our mouths right now is being done by robots.
The accolades just keep piling up for Cabin Radio.
You've been awarded owned by the Chinese. Wonderful.
We
I'm
win.
I'm not even sure I know what that means. Like, I mean, I understand,
yeah.
by a corporation coming in and buying up like a shareholder, like a voting share in the company, I suppose.
Right.
So they get to dictate what we say and do.
Well, I guess like any smart corporation, they look for a return on investment.
That's absolutely right. And there is none.
I don't know if we can deliver that at this point.
Tell you what, I'll give up the $500 a month stipend that I get. You guys can have that. All right?
Oh, you're so selfless.
I am selfless.
So selfless.
Oh, my goodness. I just want people to tell us what to say and what to do. That's all I want.
Again, things would be so much easier.
I just want something to believe in. Mornings at the Cabin. Cabin Radio, not owned by the Chinese.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.